What's up, MetaNerdz? This video is all about the bow rifle, a weapon that was originally only used by the honor guard of the planet Lasat. It was manufactured by Lasat Malamut Firearms, and was such a unique design concept that the Lasat were the only species throughout the galaxy that had a weapon like the bow rifle. It's basically just a blaster rifle with an electro staff built into it, but although that's a simple concept, the engineering is very complex. Now there are actually 3 different types of bow rifles that were made, but let's start by looking at the one that Zeb used. This more traditionally styled bow rifle is called the AB-75. The weapon could be extremely compact, with the front half of the weapon rotating upwards, and the barrel of this gun collapsing in on itself. To put it into rifle mode, the barrel was telescoped outward, with this handle extended to reveal the trigger. This setting made the weapon about as strong as the standard blaster rifle. And interestingly, since the barrel is up here, I believe that the energy pack and Tabana gas cartridge must be stored in this cylinder, with the main body of the weapon providing for the electro staff. In bow staff mode, the gun was completely telescoped outward, and these electricity conducting nodes on each end would activate with either yellow or purple bolts. And although technically not classified as an electro staff, the energy that it emitted and the way that it damaged its enemy are nearly identical. So Zeb's was the AB-75, but the one used by Callus was the J19 model. These were more recently built bow rifles, and it had a more streamlined design than the previous model. Most of the way it worked was the same as other bow rifles, but they added on this extra bayonet. This weapon is now a triple threat, being a blaster rifle, electro staff, and having a slashing component, because remember, there was technology that was incorporated into some types of armor, which could negate the effects of an electro staff. Agent Callus of course got this during an event known as the Siege of Lasat, in which he defeated a Lasat High Honor Guard. According to their warrior code, known as the Busan Kira, whenever a Lasat is defeated in battle, they have to turn over their weapon to the victor. Now the most interesting bow rifle is perhaps the CJ9, because it tells us a lot about the Lasat people. It was used during the Galactic Civil War by both the Rebel Alliance and by the Galactic Empire. And the fact that it was built so recently, I think is a predictor for the events in Rebels, because we know that the Lasat people didn't actually go extinct, but during the lead up to the Galactic Civil War, they must have rebuilt their civilization to the point that they were actually manufacturing new types of bow rifles. And another thing that's cool about the CJ9 is that it's the rifle that we know most about. It would take 15 shots before it needed to cool off, and they added on this scope to better take advantage of the rifle aspects of this weapon. It cut back to only having one emitter node, and therefore couldn't extend to be used like an electro staff. And the weapon overall is much bulkier than its predecessors. This is perhaps why this version of the bow rifle is so much more powerful than the ones that came before it. Whereas the original electro staff didn't necessarily kill its enemy, the CJ9 was built explicitly to work as a bayonet, so that instead of stunning its enemy, the user was supposed to jab at them, and the emitter node would generate a small plasma blade, which was capable of killing an enemy in a single thrust. Well, that's it for the breakdown of these 3 weapons, but I do think it's important to point out that the oldest model bow rifles are more elegant and complicated, and they slowly become more practical in design, with their most recent version moving away from ceremonial weaponry and being streamlined to killing their enemy with the addition of the scope and the plasma blade that was generated by the CJ9. Perhaps this is a result of how the Empire treated the Lasat. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and that's it for the bow rifle. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, and be sure to leave a comment down below if I missed any cool facts, or if you have a suggestion for future videos. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at MetaNerdz so you can see us build Star Wars props and cosplays, along with some other cool Star Wars stuff. If you want to help support this channel, check out the description below for our Amazon store and our Patreon. And be sure to subscribe, because we're making videos like this every single day. But more important than all that, remember, the Lasat will rise again, and the Force will be with you, always.